Hello, everyone. Welcome to Geeks Assembled Audio Heads, another production here by Geeks Assembled and us. And we're here to review and to talk at some length about Baker's End, The King of Cats, starring none other than Tom Baker, who plays a fella named Tom Baker, and Katie Manning, who plays a lady named Susie. Yay! I love that. That's very cool. Anyway, yeah. So I'd like to let these fellows introduce themselves and tell me what they think of it, and then by that way, tell you what they think of it. Let's start off with Beef Dad, since I'm such a big fan of Beef Dad.
This is pretty crazy. The whole thing is surreal, shall we say. It's obvious, you can hear it in his voice, that Tom Baker is having an absolute ball doing it. Similarly, bless her, the lovely Katie Manning, she's just having fun with it. She's having a lot of fun. In fact, the whole cast really just seem to be enjoying themselves. It's like they're just sitting around having a damn good laugh. It's really, as I say, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's brilliantly crazy. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it.
Cool. I'm glad you did. Let's talk to Tim, Texas Tim, please. What did you think of this?
Well, I agree with Beef Dad. It's just a bunch of holiday camp nonsense. It's really like a audio panto kind of thing. It's written by Paul Mars, who's really good, who really loves to abuse the English language by using lots of adjectives and lots of alliteration. And Tom Baker is his best subject for this because they really make it work. I mean, it's just a lot of fun. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's really like you said, it's just a bunch of nonsense, but it's a lot of fun nonsense. I mean, if you're having a really, really bad day, pop this on and listen to it. It'll cheer you up just because of how silly it is. But like you said, the cast is amazing too. I mean, you got Susan Jameson as well, who plays his housekeeper.
Oh yes,
who's always complaining. And she's great. She played Mrs. Wibsey in the Doctor Who's the Nest Cottage series that they did for me. Same writer, same doctor. It was all really good from a few years ago. But yeah, I love this stuff. It's really good.
Sweet. And we've got a new cast member. This is Kieran. Please introduce yourself. And
hello. My name is
Kieran.
What do you think? My name's Kieran, and The King of the Cats. Well, it was a very decent story, I must say. A bit weird, a bit strange going into it because I had no idea what going into it is going to be like. The concept of Tom Baker's death, I thought was a little bit morbid, but it's kind of like a comedy in that sense. I thought it's really enjoyable. Paul Mars, I'm a big fan of Paul Mars. He's written some of my favourite audios like Peterloo Massacre, and to know that he written this was quite good. And Katie Manning is quite exceptional in this. I think her narrating of the story was fantastic, and Susan Jameson was very good as well. But the whole audio is a strange one. But I think overall it's quite exceptional story in that sense.
Awesome. Thanks, Kieran. And let's go to Lee Wilson. What do you think, Lee?
Well, I've read many of Paul Marsh's books, and yes, he goes down the surreal route, which this is what I like about his writing. Tom Baker has always joked about his death. He doesn't take his death too seriously. I mean, he's had his own tombstone in his garden shed for well over 20 years, so he's ready for the the final push, shall we say? But yes, enjoyable. The cast was wonderful. I didn't realise it was a Christmassy story as well. Yeah, seem headed to that season pretty quickly. Yeah, it's very, very out there. I loved it. It's for me, it was like Beef Dad may agree. It was sort of like a carry on on audio. It was. You just didn't expect from beginning to you didn't even know what was going to happen. And some of the even when it came to the end of it, you're thinking, what went on in this story? What happened? Because what was the conclusion? What was it left me with more questions than answers. I think it's just wonderful. I mean, I know this is the first of. I think there's been 4 now. This is the first of 4. So I love it. It was brilliant. It passed a good 60 minutes for me. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah, I loved the bit where they got snowed in and stayed snowed in this village for like a week or more, because they had to build the tension, and they had to like allow the townspeople to fall under the whim and the power of Clacky and his and the merry dancing that went on in the town square. I love the bit where they're like everybody keeps looking in the hedgerows or in the bushes, because there's always something down there. There's the dog, there's the cat, I mean, there's the king of cats, and then there's the vicar. And the vicar was super funny. I mean, the vicar was like, I have to go back. I am supposed to be celebrating right now. What am I doing up here on the anyway, that was amazing. And his willingness to sacrifice, the sanity of his church to just, allow the door to be open to all of these crazy townspeople. And the fact that they were fembots was hilarious. I mean, for real, fellas, they're
Laser boobs.
They had laser boobs. It was amazing. Anyway, I thought that was terrific fun. Yeah, like so much fun I had listening to this. It was brilliant. I would just like to find out what you guys thought were your favorite bits. I said some of mine, and I really would like to know what you guys think as your favorite parts of this. Go ahead. Anybody shout,
You've already mentioned my favourite part, which is the old ladies with the laser boobs. That was just absolutely mental. And then Tom Baker and Katie Manning and that up on the top of the church, and deciding with the vicar which one of the statues of the saints is unimportant enough to be pushed off and onto them to kill them. That just creased me up. I was sitting and giggling like a little loony. But yeah, and then of course they go back and Mrs. Frimbly's there and complaining and moaning, and it's just brilliant. It's just so funny. But yeah, of course you've got to remember that the guy who played the vicar, Reverend Ailing, also played the sinister presence.
Oh yes.
And yeah, he was pretty creepy doing that. But yeah, it was the use of some semi-invented words like scumblegum. That is brilliant.
I know, right?
And fruminous, that I think goes back. The fruminous bandersnatch is from
Jabberwockies.
Jabberwocky, yeah. Which I'd recite for you, but I really can't be bothered. Although I must admit, I can still remember it 60 years later. But yeah, it's just it's just wonderfully weird.
I think so too. So go ahead, Kieran. See, what's your favorite bit?
I have to agree with the laser chest part. I thought that was really funny. Also, Tom reading the spell out of his book. What was it? The Hokey Cokey or something like that. That was really funny as well. But yeah, my favourite part, again, I'm going to have to agree, is the laser beams out the chest. I thought that was hilarious. It's just this story is absolutely bonkers, but a wonderful, crazy, over-the-top story, which, again, I would like to try out all the other audios within that series.
Yep, I think we're going to continue on and do them all. Hey, Lee, what do you think of this? You were about to speak. I'm sorry I interrupted you. Please forgive.
I'm used to you interrupting, Susan. I'd say I agree. The laser breasts, brilliant. They were just great. I also like the women twerking at the vicar. That was hilarious. Also, talking about how fine his coat is. Do you want to give me a stroke? And then Katie says, "Well, it's a costume. I can see the zip." He says, just shut up. You'll spoil the illusion. And it's on audio. You know what I mean? but I mean, for me, one of my favourite parts was Tom Baker had in this audio a book tower. And that was just harking back to his TV show he had back in the early 80s, The Book Tower.
The Book Tower.
The Book Tower, yes.
Yes.
Yes, so they actually got his own book tower in this, because it's a wonderful show that, teaching kids all about books. But yeah, it's just a little nod to the past that. I like that. That was brilliant. But everything everybody said, I totally agree. It's a wonderful story. Whatever it was about, it was a wonderful story.
All right, Tim, please let us know your favorite bits and everything.
It's all about Clacky the Dragon. I mean, that's the main high point. No, I'm just kidding. It's hard to pick up moment because it's all really good. It's just it's laughs ahoy from beginning to end. It's an excellent thing to listen to. Like I said, if you're having a really bad day, pop that one in, and it'll cheer you up, even if you are determined not to be. It's just it's great. And it's like you said, there's 3 more after this one so far. This just came out about a year and a half ago, maybe, and it's hopefully they'll continue to do them.
Anybody want to answer me the question? Would Tom Baker, the actor, ever fake his own death and fake his own resurrection?
No, I don't think so.
I think that answered your question.
I think that he's if he's got like a good special effects guy, he might just do that. I still think that because Jodie Fayed made 2 movies about about faking your own death, that he and Diana have just retired to some island somewhere, and they effectively faked their own death because they made the 2 movies about faking your own death. Brilliant. I'm just so happy about that. I think that if it's like anyway, I think if it's a real deal, that it would be hilarious. And so that was my question. Another question is favorite character in the thing.
Well, it's obviously going to be the King of Cats. I mean,
I thought Mrs. Frimble was brilliant. I thought that she was just like, she was properly like you trusted her, and then you didn't trust her, and then you trusted her, and then you didn't trust her, and you were like, what is going to come out of this woman's mouth next? That was too much for me, man. That was so fun. Kieran?
Yeah, Mrs. Frimble. I have to agree, Mrs. Frimble as well. She then a very, very interesting character. But I do like because I love Tom Baker as an actor. I think he's like one of my favorite actors. I would have to say Tom Baker, in all honesty. He's just completely bonkers in this story, and it kind of fits with Tom Baker's personality. It's something like I would love to see more of Tom Baker. But yeah, Tom Baker, my favorite character from the story.
I like that. Tom Baker, favourite character. but to be honest, he wasn't acting. That was him. That's how he is.
Yeah.
That is how he is. Yeah, Tom Baker's brilliant. But I think the full cast was just, on top form. Katie Manning, Susan Gibson, just the actor. I can't remember the actor who played the Reverend. What was that again? Beef Dad. That's a prompt.
David Benson.
Thank you. Yeah, it's just the full cast. Just they work so well together. It's just brilliant.
So, okay. Anything anybody else want to say? Kieran, do you want to say who your favorite character was? Oh yeah, you already did.
Yeah.
No, never mind. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
So okay. So let's rate this thing. Let's give our final statement of it, and gather our thoughts, and we will continue on. And because this was so festive and stuff, I think we're just going to continue on and do the rest of Baker's End till the new.
Well, you're in for a surprise with the 4th episode.
I bet. Colin Baker first of all, right?
Oh,
no
yeah.
spoilers.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start off with Kieran, because he's brand new to this.
Yep.
Give your final say and score.
Overall, this story is really enjoyable. It's a story that you shouldn't really take seriously, but it's a story that it's a comedy, and like I forgot who said in this chat, if you're having a bad day, put the CD in and you're just going to absolutely love this. It's completely bonkers and absolutely bananas, and you're just going to love it.
Thank you. And what would you give it out of 10? 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest.
Say that again, sorry.
10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest. What would you give this thing out of 10?
That's a hard one. It's probably an 8 out of 10, actually.
Cool. Thanks. Let's go to Beef Dad. What would you give this thing out of 10? And your final say, please.
Um, insanity. Basically, it is. It's insanity. And yeah, Tim's absolutely right. If you're not having a good day, if you're feeling a bit down, put this on. It'll cheer you up. And for that, he gets a Scobble-Lotching 10.
Good word. All right. Since Tim, you've said what everybody said the last two turns, please do give us your final bit and your score.
Well, I would point out that actually before Big Finish was able to woo Tom Baker into their fold, he and Paul Mars did a series of audios for BBC Audio, which was called which were Fourth Doctor Adventures. There were like 3 sets of 5, and they're very good. They're very entertaining the same kind of way. It's a little bit more serious because it's Doctor Who, but it's the same kind of fun with the English language, I would say. So I would highly recommend those. But yeah, this is an obvious 10. It's a delight from start to finish. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you. And our leader. No, yeah, you. Yes, you.
Oh.
Please, could you give your final say? And since you,
I think
you gathered
he's more of
your
a
thoughts.
stew leader.
Thank you. What can I say about this? If you want to enter the minds of Paul Mars and Tom Baker, you enter Wonderland. This is it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I can't fault it. So I'm going to give it 10 insanely grinning Tom Bakers.
Thank you. And my final say is that if you're ever stuck in a small quaint village where the rules are changing and people are being replaced by aliens and everything under the sun that you can possibly imagine is happening, look around. You might end up seeing someone named Susie who is trying to sort out what's going on, and Tom Baker should be there too. Anyway, I'll give this 10 Susies out of 10 because it was so amazing. Anyway, super cool. Thanks, guys, for joining me. Please like and subscribe to this channel. Hit that subscribe button wherever you find it on the screen, and click the little bell so that you can get our notifications. And also, because we've got so much content coming, stay tuned to whatever we're doing. It's all going to be great. And do
That's
please,
a nasty cough, isn't it? It is a nasty cough.
Oh, it's just normal for me anyway. If you want to join us on these casts for this craziness, please let one of us know or leave a comment below. And do enjoy your holiday season because it's starting now. Thank you. Bye-bye.